What's going on, guys? Troy at Mountain Men Treasure here, and today a couple of tools that can help make eBay easier for you.
Mountain Man Treasures.
This channel all about reselling, guys. It's about going to garage sales and estate sales, picking up stuff, and it's about selling things on eBay. I also like to show you things that can help you do that. And I've got a couple of tools here. I pretty much do all of my eBay stuff with my phone. I know some people, they're all about doing it on the desktop. And there are other things that you can do on the desktop that you can't do through the eBay app. But for me, I like to streamline pretty much everything. You know, I do this part-time. I like to make it as easy, as simple as I can. I don't like complications. And so the app works great for me. You know, it's simple, it's clean, and I mean, I've got more than 800 listings. We're selling an awful lot of stuff. I think it works. So if all you want to do is use the app, you can certainly do that. And I've got a couple of things using the phone that can make your job a little easier. Let me show you what we're going to do here. Here's our victim today. I came out here and thought, what can I use to show you? And this little guy, he's not been listed yet. I just set him here and just kind of liked him hanging out for a little bit, but it's probably time to list him. So we're going to get this guy listed. This came from the dollhouse where we got all the Barbies. I think this was like $2 or $3. This used to be, they called them squeakers, I think. See on the bottom? He doesn't really... That's what I said when we picked him up. He can't, he's made his last squawk. He doesn't squeak anymore. It's in pretty good shape, though. I mean, there's some dings on it here and there. The paint's gone, but these are from, I've got to do some research on him. But typically these were, I think, 50s, 60s, that sort of thing. And I think he's kind of cool. And there's probably a little bit of value there. So we want to list him. I've had people ask about, how do I get the white backgrounds? How do you get the white on your listings? Because most of my listings have a pure white background, at least most of my recent listings. How do you do that? Well, let me show you. First thing that we're going to do, and now I should tell you, you can't have a light box. Certainly that would help. It would make life a little bit easier. I had one, mine broke actually, but using this app, you don't necessarily have to have one. Now, I'm out here in my garage in the shop. Typically, when I do something like this, I'm not in here. I do it out in the kitchen or in the living room where I've got some natural light coming through the windows. I don't really have any natural light in here. A lot of times, honestly, I do it on my kitchen counter. I have a white kitchen counter, and it's right underneath a window, so I get natural sunlight coming through if I do it in the afternoon, and it works really, really well. But I want to show you, even without that, I can make some pretty good pictures out here. So we're going to take this guy, and we're going to just lay him on my table here, okay? And then I'm going to grab my phone. And we have some shadows here, I recognize that, but it's actually not going to be a problem. We'll get him on the screen here. Try and get out of the light as much as I can, but the shadow isn't going to much matter. But I still want to give him good light, okay? So there he is. So what do we do with this? Well, we go over here to Photo Room. It's this app right down there. I know it's not focusing super well, but Photo Room, you can find that. It's only, I think, on Apple, on the iPhones, but I think it's fantastic. So we're going to start with a picture, and here he is. And watch what happens. Bam. That's how easy it is. Look at that. Okay? We took out the background. So then all we do is save down here, and now he's saved into my photo list. Let's take another couple pictures. And now let me show you actually what happens. Sometimes, I don't know if it's going to work actually out here with so much behind him, but it might, because you don't even necessarily have to have a pure white background. Let's just see. I have no idea if this is going to work. Get kind of a close-up of his face, right? Okay. So now we're going to switch over back to Photo Room. And this is free. You can get a paid version. but the free version works very well. Look at that. It didn't get all of it. Just as an example, look, it caught the mug. It caught the Mountain Man mug behind him. But look, it cleared everything else out. So if you've got a little bit of clutter on your table, it's not going to matter. It's going to, most often, it defines the edges, and it figures out, oh, this is the thing that he's taking a picture of, and it'll get rid of everything else. It got confused because that was behind the hat. So that one did not work. But considering the picture that we came from, look at that. I mean, look at all the stuff behind him, and all it got confused by was the mug. I think because the white blended in with the white on the hat. I think that's what threw it off. But let's take a couple more pictures of this guy, and then we'll put together a listing. Had an idea. We're going to use Barbie. The Barbie box is a backup, or a backdrop, and we're going to see if that works. So let's try this again. Get it so that it's just basically black behind it. Okay, I want to show you. It's hard to do this with the camera in the way. Bam. Look at that. Now, it actually took off part of his arm. It took off part of his arm, right? But all I'm going to do is I'm going to actually crop in right there on his face. So that doesn't matter. So we're going to save that. Okay, now let's get some more pictures of this guy. All right, guys, so here we go. I just went and I finished taking my pictures, and then I found something halfway similar, and we've created a new title, Vintage Rubber Swiss Boy Squeaker Squeak Toy Switzerland Red Hat Rare Read. It's the best I got. So now we're going to add photos. This is using the eBay app, and so here's our recent photos. These are what we're going to use. So we're going to go ahead and click down here. I can reorder them once they get in here. And these are all the ones that we made in Photo Room and saved onto our camera roll. Okay, so now it's going to upload. It's going to ask us, do you want to use this one? No, we don't. One-handed here. Not now. Okay. So, the one thing, this is the free version of the app. All right, we'll just set it down here. This is the free version of the app. You can download in high res if you have the full version. And there's a couple other features, including, see down here, they've got their watermark. Very easy to get rid of. Oh, my phone is dying. Very easy to get rid of with the crop feature. And just like that, bam, we've got a completely white background without any fancy tools, without any light box, just me in the garage on my work table. I mean, that's it. I'm going to crop that guy, done. So you got to go through and crop all of them. You could edit them, I guess, on your phone and brush that out if you wanted to. I mean, there's different things you could do. Now, suppose sometimes it gets too close and you can't quite crop it out. So let's put it like that. See how there's a little bit on there? eBay's actually got a tool that helps you make the screen white as well. So let's crop that. It's down here on the app. It's the one with the dotted lines around it, okay? So click that. It's going to ask you to frame your item. I'm just going to leave it for the whole thing, but you can actually move the box and basically give it a better idea of where your item is on the screen so it knows what to white out. But we're going to leave it all the way. And hit continue. And it took out the photo room down there. Now, unfortunately, also took out like the color on his eyes and stuff. But look, you hit the paintbrush. And we're going to bring that back. Because the rest of this was already white. So let's bring back the rest of our little elfin Swiss boy. Alright, I think that's all of him. And apply. And there you go. Now that one's done. We got a little close-up. His watch is missing some paint, so we want to show them that. You want to show them, for those of you that are newer to reselling, show the flaws. Don't... I know there's a temptation to sort of try to hide them a little bit, and not really hide them, but don't highlight them. No, see, and now look, this one, it did a bad job on this one. It got rid of a bunch of it, but all I wanted was to show that his hand is a little bit mangled. So it doesn't matter because we're cropping in like that. I know you want to sort of, hey, it's worth more if it's unflawed, right? But then your buyer's going to get it and find it anyway. So it's better you show it now and be honest about it. Okay. So there we go. Now you can just run through. I'm going to go ahead and do it. We don't need to put it on video, but I'm going to put in all the item specifics. I don't usually put that much description, but I'll let them know, hey, there's some paint missing. His fingers are missing, that sort of thing. You're going to do all this on the app and then list your item. So let me go ahead and fill that stuff in. All right, so I got all that stuff filled out. Now all we got to do is list our item. And there you go. So let's view our listing. And you can see what we're going to look like with the pictures on here. If it loads up. There we go. So there you go. We've got a pure white background on all of our photos. And no fancy setup and a free app. Not bad, right? Okay, cool tool. But that's not all. I want to show you one that a lot of people I don't think know about. We're going to go back to the phone. Here is my little, or at least one of my little menus for eBay tools. And what we're going to do is this one right there. I know it's not focusing, but the app is called What's It Worth? Little dollar sign. We're going to click on that. All right. So the What's It Worth app. Let me show you what we're doing here. We're going to search for something right behind. Remember, we used the Barbie doll for a backdrop for our little squeaker. So let's type that one into the search bar. Okay, so we're looking for fantasy. What is it? It's the Fantasy Goddess. I haven't actually listed that one yet. That one's probably going to get listed this weekend. Fantasy Goddess of Africa. See, we typed it in right there. Barbie. We'll add that. Okay. Search. 25 have come up to auction. 100% sold. Underneath that, it shows you the sell-through rate. Now, buy it now. 10 of them have come up. 76% of them have sold. It also shows you the average price. So at auction, the average price, $140. Buy it now, $145. So that's basically the same. It'll also show you what they come out to average based on shipping. $162.95 versus $178.52. So that a little bit different. And the net revenue, $126, $130. So these pretty much the same. This is something that when it goes up for sale, it basically is going to find its value one way or the other. But it's really, this is a fantastic tool in general to show you, should I auction something or should I buy it now? How do you decide? Well, here's the data right here. So you can see 100% sell-through. If you want to sell it, put it at auction. 100% of the time it sells. Though buy it now, there's one or two that haven't sold, but it sells for about $5 more. So what do you want to do? Do you want to make sure you sell it or do you want to maximize your profit, right? Now, there are actually some other things that you can look at in here. Look at this. If you want to get deep into the weeds, this shows you the average sales price based on the day of the week. So the best day of the week, apparently, to sell these things is on a Thursday. This is auction price per day of the week down here, okay? So there's been 25 auctions. This is the last 85 days. So there you go. It's 3 months. I couldn't remember how far it was. It's the last 3 months, just like eBay. So the best day to sell this thing on, apparently, is on a Thursday. Okay, so it's interesting. Then click down here on this one. This will actually show you the listings. So you can see, you break it out. You saw all the averages. Now you can actually see. So here's one right here. It sold for auction at $99.99. This one, $102.50. $97, $95. This one was a buy it now. Went for $100. Okay, $99, $99, $129. So you can actually go through and see all the listings. Now, obviously, see that one? Doesn't belong, doesn't belong, doesn't belong. So some of them, just like your eBay searches, they're not all going to fit. Now, this one was a best offer, $165. They got a much higher price. Okay, but this one was an auction, $145. Auction $187. See, there's always going to be some variables. So it's hard to say with this one what the best thing to do is, but very often you can really see a difference between the two. So there you go, a couple of tools that I think are super helpful. Photo Room, again, only on the iPhones, but then What's It Worth, I believe, works on iPhone or Android, and it's a super helpful tool to figure out auction, buy it now, and it also shows you right there on the screen the sell-through rate. Now, you can use the eBay app and kind of figure that out yourself, look at how many are listed versus how many are sold, but the What's It Worth app shows you right there on the screen what the sell-through rate over the last 3 months of particular items is. So I think that is something that especially a new reseller can definitely use, especially, you know, if they're outsourcing going, should I pick this up? How quickly is it going to sell? What's It Worth will tell you. I appreciate you stopping by, guys. Thanks very much. If you have any other questions, if you want to know anything about reselling eBay, I am not an expert, but I'm getting better, and I'm willing to share what I've learned. So if there's something that you are wondering about, let me know. Put it down in the comments down below. Hit that thumb, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, do all the YouTube things that you do, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.